Okay, Ocean, side boy.
So because you've asked for our opinion, we're going to give you our opinion, all right? So what do you think about Chicano culture being a trend and people getting mad about it? All right.
Number one, what is your definition of Chicano culture?
Yes. I think the Mexican, you have to be from Mexican descent, okay? And not half white, not half Puerto Rican. No, Mexican, from Mexican parents, okay? I think a lot of people confuse Chicano culture for Cholo and gangster culture. Again, we're Chicanas. We're from up north, from Northern California. And growing up, there was an influence of like gang life, whatever. However, the lowriders and things, that wasn't something that was here in our town.
Southern California, yeah, and it influenced its way up here.
Yeah. But again, I think you're talking about, people getting mad about it being a trend. Well, okay, when we were growing up, a Cholo was mostly a Southerner. It wasn't a Northerner here in our town. We didn't know what that was at that time. We just would say, you'd hear people say, "Ay, ese Cholo, ese huerco's Cholo, esa huerca's Chola," and we'd be like, "All right, pues es Cholo." But gang culture can be any denomination, any race, meaning, whatever gangs. Everybody has their own colors for their gangs, bandanas. Then that's what I'm thinking.
Embracing outsiders.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking about gang culture.
Yeah, like on a movement. I know that's what a lot of people go to right away, but no, I don't really.
That wasn't something here when we were growing up that was spoken about.
Yeah, no.
Like I remember seeing that episode of Moesha. And now I'm really dating ourselves. Yeah. And I mean, we knew who Cesar Chavez was. We'd kind of hear it, but we didn't know. I didn't know the depth that was involved and all this stuff that's come out now his interviews were all that
a lot of opinions.
So I think that's what it is. But what do I feel about it? I think if it's trending and it makes money, why not?
Yeah.
Again, I have noticed that once people, and I will say that, and as ignorant as that sounds, once white people find out that things are good and they start eating it like lengua, because I remember growing up, we loved lengua, and lengua was cheap, and you'd make hella tacos. Then once white people got into it and they found how good it was and benefit stuff, now lengua's so expensive. It's just like everything else.
Also, with the whole Chicano culture, my own opinion, growing up, I never really just said, oh, this is Chicano, I gotta dress like this a certain way. No, I've always felt, hey, I'm embracing my Mexican side of all of that shit, right? Como la música banda, Tejano music, all that cumbias.
Metallica, anything.
You embrace like speaking Spanish, learning it. If I didn't learn Spanish, actually reading and writing until I was 11 years old because I was watching novelas.
And English was our first language.
Yes.
English was our first language.
And also, so I don't, like, everyone's just saying, no, you guys aren't Chicanas, and they want to discredit us because they're like, you don't look like...
You don't have estilo.
Yeah, you don't look like them girls.
Why do you have purple hair? Why do you have blonde hair?
Yeah, well, you don't look like those ladies.
You don't wear the Dickies or the... Hey, I used to wear the Dickies.
You guys talk differently, too, and all that, so... there's a lot of, everyone has their own definition of what, that's just my take on that. I don't think you should be dressing like that unless you're really part of that lifestyle.
And you're about that action.
Because if people do come up to you and they're like, hey, what's up? You're going to be like, oh, I'm nothing. I'm just Chicano. No, hun. So you should prepare yourself for that. And I think that's what a lot of people should be teaching their kids as well. Certain ways. People also are saying, no, my kids dress in programs. That's not gang related.
Why do you buy them that clothes, though, is what I'm saying. Like, why, if you already know it comes with it.
They're like, yeah, but I used to dress like that in the
You
90s.
used to, but don't you want your kids to do better? This is where I don't understand. This is where I get tripped out on it. I do. I don't know. It's going to happen. People are going to make the judgments
And
anyways.
also, I just believe, hey, as Chicanos, we should just accept it. The whole stereotype, I don't think that's ever going to change.
No.
Everyone has that stereotype towards Chicanos that we all look like cholas, cholos, and we all boogie down to oldies and funk and go to lowrider shows and have a lowrider and whatnot. So I just think we should just embrace it. Hey, it's never going to change. Oh, wow, that's a stereotype people have. Well, then whatever.
So be it, right?
Yes, and then it is a trend because a lot of wannabe Chicanos, now they're on that trend, and everyone just thinks, oh, you have to dress like a gangster to be
like Chicana Roses. That's a perfect one too. She's a Mexicana. I don't think she's a Chicana, but in her head, whatever, those big jerseys and the big pants and stuff, that's what Chicanos are for them. That's how they represent Chicanos. That's what they
And a lot of Mexicans that were born in Mexico, I've been seeing, they say that they call it Chicano culture, Chicano style, pero then they either want to tell us, oh, well, yo soy más Chicano que ustedes because I got the estilo. And they go, well, that's your definition of Chicano. Well, no naciste aquí. But so that's my
that's just our opinion. That's our take on it. But as far as the whole dress and the clothing and the trending, people are always gonna get mad.
Hey, and you asked for our opinion.
Yeah.
So if you want our honest opinion, if you just want us to bullshit you, then we can do that as well.
Yes. Have a great night.